I just think it's wild that you say, Andrew, that you don't even involve your wife in like what you say just goes, and it's not even a good discussion because you you don't care to deal with it.
That's not what I say.
Pretty much.
No. I just say if it is the case that I do that, right, she doesn't have a say. So when I feel inclined to do so, if necessary, she doesn't have a say. It doesn't mean I don't involve her in any decision making. That would be absurd.
Okay.
In fact, I need to consult with her on many, many, many different things because she runs the household. Okay. But who cares?
So then maybe I just saw like one clip
so
that...
Ultimately, the position just is, if I decide not to involve her, that's my choice and not her choice. And if I decide that we need to do something within the household that she may disagree with, that's ultimately my choice. Doesn't mean I don't involve her in any decision making.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a question. Do you think every relationship should be like that, or is that just for you?
I think that if more relationships were run as a patriarchy where a woman submits and man's the head of the household, that they would be a lot better for both people involved.
I think biblically speaking, what's going on in this country right now, part of the reason we're having so much fallout, even politically, is because there aren't enough male leaders and figureheads, and we need strong male leadership all around. So I don't disagree with your viewpoint. I think there's obviously exceptions, as you're kind of bringing up, like there should be female involvement in certain decisions, but I respect your view on that.
Problem is that people always want to make arguments from outliers. The kind of like... we're always looking at these small outliers and going, what about them? Well, we're not going to shape policy around outliers, right? We're not going to do that. We're not going to shape society around outliers. We're not going to do that. That would be really stupid. That would be the sacrifice of the whole for the few rather than the few for the whole. So that would make no sense. Like, you can imagine that there's some people who possibly... stop signs may affect negatively. I don't know. I'm sure that they're out there. I don't know how they're affected negatively by them, but I don't give a shit, right? Because we still need to have stop signs. So I ultimately don't care. I'm not going to be like, oh, well, let's go ahead and redo everything when it comes to, you stopping at an intersection because that affects your mental health.
Yeah,
some retarded
like
shit,
I
right?
agree with you. Like, I think there is like a biological aspect to like relationships and like gender roles and all that. But I think that like in a relationship, like you should have the decision to, kind of have the dynamic that you want. Like if the woman wants to be the provider, I think that should be like an option, But like in general, I do think that biology plays a part and that in general, men are more inclined to be the providers.
I agree that if a woman wants to be a provider, she should be a provider. I would just advise any man who is with a woman like that to get the fuck away from her. That's all. Like,
if a man is submissive enough and he wants that, like, why not?
I'm not going to say that they can't, right? That would be absurd. And maybe there's some guy out there who's like, oh, I just can't wait to simp for you, queen, or whatever. Whatever it is, fine. But my advice to men like would be to get away from that woman. It's probably going to end very badly. Probably. Not the best idea.
Okay. Was there... I kind of want to just get everybody's disagreements before we dive into any of the particulars. So was there more?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. Disagreements.
So I kind of like already kind of stated like my stance, but I do think that there is like a biological aspect to like gender norms and like, just gender roles in society in general. But I think that like in my relationship personally, like I would like to be like a trad wife. Like I want my husband to provide for me, but I understand that there are women who don't want that, and that's totally fine.
I've met like 3.
Yeah.
But it seems like every time we reduce it, they would prefer to stay at home.
Yeah, and I don't know, like I think that I just think it's important for people who don't want to follow that route to have the option to.
Okay.
Yeah, that's basically all. And I do think another thing that was that I mentioned is that I do think that women have it a lot easier like in the dating realm. But I think that a lot of that comes with a lot of scrutiny as well, like from, you know, like patriarchal ideals from society.
Okay.